that shit down. All right, we're live on YouTube. All right, so let's break this down. Um, so on the 24-hour candle closed for tomorrow, if we fail to close any lower, I could see a retest off of 256. Now, if you're swinging short with some expiration, we should be all right. But obviously, right, well, actually, right now as we speak, if anybody's taking this, there it is. There's the start. Ugh, disgusting with it, dude. I just bought these. I bought those calls for dirt. Dirt cheap, bruh. Hold on. Got a trade too, right here. Yeah. Yeah, you know what's funny is I just saw I apparently ICT posted the actual guy posted that they changed the algorithms in the market. I'm like, dude, what? That's crazy. Believe it. Oh, they're just always changing, guys. Yep, you broke right over the wicks. Now again, the candle needs to close somewhere above that in order to keep the momentum moving in the right direction. So here or there. I got 256s and 257s. I just trimmed the 256s. Just a quick little pop. I will, yeah. Hold on, let me get done with this really quick. All right, so I'm gonna switch this over real quick over here. So those of you guys on YouTube, you guys can keep an eye on this chart. All right, so that's what we're dealing with now as we get into the end of the week, or end of the, well, yeah, fuck the end of the week. And then same thing right here with the Qs. Well, actually, not same thing, totally different. Holy shit, what the fuck is that? I swear to God, that's not real, dude. That's not me, dude. That's not me. So 24-hour. Anyway, damn, they got me. I was kidding. So real quick, did we gain anything? No. Did we lose anything? Still no, right? In fact, if you look at where we are, we bounced off those green candles, right? And we're held underneath in that same mother freaking box, right? So if you decided not to take a swing on that one, right, based off of that, that would make sense. Again, a big enough bounce, a big enough pull back up. And tomorrow, if we gap over this, we know where we're likely to go. But this doesn't look like the craziest. The tension is off the charts. I mean, we could be expecting a pretty decent move on the Qs um, going into tomorrow, or even just the end of the week. Um, but the goal here, right, is you can't be totally bullish off of this when it's recovered nothing, right? It's bounced off of something, but it's recovered nothing. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Potter's Mogging all those low test geezers. Yeah, yep. Frame mogging, if you will. All right, so yeah, if you guys didn't hear, Clavicular got frame mogged by an ASU student, dude. It's crazy. Crazy world we live in nowadays. All right. So all right, so the Qs obviously standby, right? SPY, same thing. The only difference is it is actually holding its lows and getting close. So whether the Qs are just sitting and getting rid of those empty spaces for the end of the day, we're starting to get heavier, right? Worst case scenario here, if we do not close to that floor, is we get another candle in range. So if you're looking for a trade tomorrow, now again, I'm with you guys. If SPY would only look good to the downside for me, especially for a trip down to this floor at the 670 mark. So that is where you could start mapping that trade out. But as you can see, it almost has the blueprint right now and we'll see how we perform. Again, we still have plenty of time here. But right there, we're going to probably want to see that floor recovered as we move into the end of the day. If this is rejected listen, if this is rejected, oh, actually, hold on. Now that I'm zooming down here, you build a nice little box, pop up. If you can, yeah, if you can reject this floor end of day and sink back through, that would make a nice downside play. With all that empty space to the downside, you'd have a first target of 272. Yeah, crazy. So we'll touch base on that one as we get to the end of the day. The cues, obviously, probably really curious about those because it's not like we didn't perform how we were supposed to, bounce where we were supposed to, but I want to see if they shift this 24-hour candle a little bit closer to 602 or up around 609. So, oh, the IWMs, I got those for today, man. Just a little learning. I made a big bag on IWM go to the downside here. All right. So all three ETFs, at least two of them, a little bit. We don't really have clear decision making here. IWM again is kind of pulling a little bit further, excuse me, away from that. Try to secure a candle close on this floor again. But if we end up yeah, if we can end up retesting where we're retesting and hold this low, then I mean, we might start having to look for that downside position. This is the third time we've been here, and if the floor is not broken, and you do take a downside trade, what is the worst case scenario? Right? Probably somewhere in that 258, 259 up above you on the hourly. So just keep that in mind. All right. All right. We'll come to do you live trade in your Pat, yeah, for the most part. Yeah, if I'm not on TikTok, I'm in the Discord. If you guys are on TikTok though, make sure to tap your screen. All right. No way. Ah, that's ridiculous. Alrighty, if you guys have anything you'd like for me to take a look at here, individual equities. Obviously, I'm pretty focused on the IWM QQQ charts. We get a lot of these big leg down areas. Obviously here we saw a response off of it. So if you hedge yourself or you even already in a long position, um, like to see obviously this empty space towards the end of the day get filled back up to that 256.50. So, all right, what do we got next? Yeah, I got you. Yeah, it was the first on the list. Well, you're red, right? And whenever you reject something, price needs to get pushed down below something that you can sellers controlled, which is that box that you popped out of. Ugh. I think one day Snapchat will get bought out. Most of their shit is off of ad revenue, but I mean, I think this is relatively clear. I don't know if it's necessarily a good trade for right now, but the closer you get to securing 537, excuse me, the closer you can obviously be to potentially breaking to the upside. But yeah, it's not really a great response off of that one. And again, AMD or excuse me, Snapchat does have a first 588 target, so your risk to reward would be not great on lower expiration or shorter expiration contracts. So, did it do what you wanted it to do when it reached resistance? I mean, the question here is, have you lost anything, right? But or are you about to? You got a rejection off of the top. It pulled back, so more than likely, right? You could re-enter, but right now you're between what you need to get back up above. which is very clearly 536, and you also have shit momentum. So like this would be some random news candle, IWM new high here on the 256.16 area. If you got those, beautiful. Damn, I bought those for fucking nothing. All right. So yeah, I mean, delicious, dude. Yeah, it's not super clear, empty space, but it's, and we just hit my first green candle there to your left again, as per usual. If you can grab that floor, we could grab that 256.51. So, all right. All right. So, first off, on the 24-hour time frame, again, I don't see any boxes. I don't see any empty space unless you're looking to the downside. Both of these bounces are coming, well, not even really coming off of that. You have a one wick that you've tapped off of. Hmm. So let me ask you that you want to take this one down. So let's just simplify this, right? Where's the signal down? Here. That's your first signal down. What are you bouncing off of? The same level that you have held and bounced off of multiple times. So I would say at the moment, drop, the 24-hour doesn't really tell me much of anything, right? Other than you got a floor. That's it. That's all I can really derive from this time frame. As far as structure up above, right? All I have is this leftover structure over here, or this chop range, and you tap the top of it. So, I mean, this read and react off of either one of these. You're stuck in between two boxes as we speak. If this bounce fails and you sink underneath that 194, yeah, you could shoot your shot. You do have empty space to the upside, and obviously the potential to go to the top there. But the music is it jazz? No, it's Brazilian lo-fi. Yeah, and not only that, you have, if you wanted to take this short, you would need to surpass 187 on a higher time frame. Yeah. So hold on real quick. If you are in IWM and you took that off of the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and start selling the dorks my contracts. Easy. Easy, Phil. They're there. Okay, sorry, go ahead. I mean, it is possible that but that serves as a black hole. If you lose this, you get the gap. It's just that simple. Yeah, if you lose that, you get the gap. So I mean, it's good to be strategically planning, and like today's low, lost is definitely has some implications. I would say right now, looking at that, yeah, 193.78, 194 area, you're going to want to see price lose that. And I mean, this is a good reaction to potentially reject off of it, but you haven't lost anything. So, mm-hmm. Easy money selling more contracts to dorks. It was a pretty great day, man. Easy price action. Shit, I left and fucking everything did what it was supposed to do. It was kind of cool because I left you guys. I believe it was here, right? Right when we were building that dumbass little box right there at the bottom, and I was like, the floor here needs to be secured, and then I believe, yeah, this one right here as well. Oops, come here. And we didn't even get really close to that. I mean, we tried, and then it failed, sunk back down like we talked about, and punched through its own box, which is, we'll probably end up looking at this IWM box in class today because we want to talk about a perfect box or just perfect structure there. Ooh, beautiful. Fuck you. Sorry, guys. I get a little excited sometimes. 120% on that. Nice little pop up there. Cheap, low risk. Sheesh. Got the floor. Send it, motherfucker. Oh, making all this empty space for us tomorrow. Wee wee. All right. How much did I make this week? I typically keep the money that I make to myself. But, yeah. But it was a lot. Nah, if I make if I make like 50 grand or something off of something, you're probably going to let it slip. But I try not to when I'm on TikTok and YouTube. I don't like to be talking about money. IRS is going to get me in a meeting and be like, we got this clip, sir. You said, what? Damn, dude, it sounds like you're in a blender right now. Gastonia. Damn, dude, he's in Gastonia. That's from Beauty and the Beast, dude. That's where Gaston died. I'm just gonna throw this out there on the weekly. I mean, you're moving through a massive fucking box. USO is obviously in its own little category here, but you don't have anything but empty space up to 105. So really, I'd be looking at $98 as like the first or the next area to break. But I mean, 105 is still a target up there. Can you explain exactly what we were waiting for on IWM to target it lower? The closer this candle gets to, so what we just did, right, is try to pull ourselves back up. And ultimately, if we continue moving up, the goal is to get you back on the floor here. And if we can do that, then we could possibly have another range day, right? Um, especially with how we fell today on IWM, there's holes or pockets of space. But one thing that I'm noticing here on the 15-minute, right, is this is setting up very similar to how that lower time frame box built, right? Where you break up and then you create empty space while you're ripping. And this obviously makes it harder for you to continue moving higher unless you're grabbing or pushing volume out of the way. So this could be the perfect setup to retrace back down and dump. So I mean, I'll probably take something. Oh boy, God, dog, who bought those contracts? Dude, come on, bro. Like sometimes I feel guilty. Like I wish I could send whoever bought my contracts just now flowers. Oh, dude, come on, man. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, he's our exit. He's our closer. Whenever we can't get out of a position, we just get Zebo to buy the contract. Damn. It's the only exercise he gets. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That was an unfounded joke. I'm sorry. I had no evidence for that at all. Oh no, no. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, CP. It's good for you. Huh? Dude, I can't. Wait, is that a G? What the fuck is that? A G or a. It's a GP. CR. I don't structure therapy. Oh Lord, he's getting me into biopharmaceuticals. I'm gonna kill myself. Whoops, I didn't say that. What state do I live in? A state of depression. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I live in Savannah, Georgia. I live in a constant state of surveillance from Mossad. That's where I live. What? uh, I mean, first of all, I don't know what you're planning on doing this thing, but it's not my this is not my area, right, of expertise for sure. However, you got two off the top and then potentially two off the bottom, but that's going to be a recovery of $64. Yes, there's a shit ton of empty space underneath there, and also 5640 would be that area where you could really see it fall. So I mean, you got the yeah. I mean, it looks pretty bearish. Affirm. Economy's getting worse. People are gonna go into more debt. I'm from Los Angeles, California. Oh my god, I was just joking. TikTok. I said that, and it. Yo, hold on. Listen, look at this shit. Live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility standards. Reasons: mental health. Ah, yeah, that'll do it. I like that. Yeah, wankers. $53. I mean, it actually looks good. It looks good. Obviously, a trip up to 54.37 would be first. But why not? Sorry, I'm looking at lower time frame. Yeah, good build. That's not bad. So yeah, I would be looking at a potential pop here. You do have empty space underneath you, so if you know by chance you experience a rejection, you could use that as a worst case scenario. 49.11. That's actually where I would suspect if you did retest it happen like that. So beautiful day. I love trading. Yeah. Hey, TikTok. I'm gonna close my TikTok down. You guys can go to YouTube or wait for me to restart it, which should be in like 5 minutes or less. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Snow. Dude, I was looking at this one because I mean I'm tempted myself to take a shot on it. It's just missing. It's got weekly empty space. The first and most logical target here would be 188.75 and that 192, you know, with a potential runner up to 205. The weekly's obviously looking pretty good. Um, this is the first time you're closing in an area that's been purely wicks, right? And if we're really kind of pay attention to detail here, this is cost basis. So either this is going to serve as where you reject, right? Or this is going to be where we break. Now, how we're building, empty space directly underneath you, box down below you. So you don't have an official trigger, but you're very close. You know, you're really close. If you do trade this, longer expiration is got to be it got to be the you got to have some protection on this because I expect that this area is going to be pretty turbulent. Right. I'll keep them on the radar here for the end of the day. Doesn't look bad. Let's take a look. PLTR faked out today, shot up, tapped a floor. Oof. Okay, you still got the bounces going though for you. Lord have mercy. IWM trying to keep it pushing here. If you got any runners on that bad boy. See here, 15-minute, 5-minute. I'd like to see it go up in here. What the fuck is that flying over my house? Holy shit. That's a squadron of jets, dude. Those some F-16s, dude. Damn. It was you? Nice, dude. Ride in style. I don't know if you and Junior are going to fit in one cockpit, baby. Who's sitting in whose lap? No, it's just a small cockpit, and those are interesting. Yeah. All right. Listen, on PLTR, again, this is how you want to respond to resistance by building immediately. So at worst, 147.72, but I'd be looking, and 24-hour candle, it's not really speaking anything crazy, but because it's off of this, any sort of price, you could still take this intraday tomorrow, but you'd be probably looking up at the 165. So if you're in it, that's not bad. I got a few runners on IWM, so I'm trying to decide because you really don't have much time to do this. We're getting close. Every little candle counts here. We need to stay above 256.44 and shoot through that empty space here. Right up here to 256.73. I've been making stupid money off of BLT, Italian, or oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Well, you got volatility, that's for damn sure. Oh, no, it's not in there. I don't know where it's at. 15-minute. Here we go. Yeah. Come on, buy it. Buy my contract, dork. Buy it. Buy it. Ha ha! Loser. Sorry. Sorry. I get a little bit excited sometimes. You have to be so mean. Look at that perfect little fucking tap, dude. On the money. On the money. Right off of those candles over there. So I might hedge myself here for tomorrow. Oh, my homie's listening right now. What do you want me to do, dude? Want me to dump it at IW? We dump it? How about the cues? I'm not watching those right now. Same shit. You probably have maybe a little bit extra here up to that 607 area. Oh my god, dude. Okay, so worst case scenario. 254. Okay. I made $700 on IW inputs today. Hell yeah, Commonwealth. I just hedged myself on that one. UNH, dude, just give up. It's over. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I want nothing to do with this, and until you, and you know, again, if you miss it, you miss it. You know, just be a little. Don't be so hard up on it. You know, you got a good build, but this is just crushing contracts. So I personally think UNH is just probably best taken intraday. You know, the only other variable is, I mean, it is something like this. If you have a good expiration, then you can still manage. Um, but it's this kind of setup that obviously, you know, could be news intraday, but ALK worked? No shit. Dude. Dude. Oh my god. You better send me those feet pics, bro. Look at that. That is just beautiful, brother. I just bought somebody's contract on IWM. Oh god, no. Man, that's money, dude. That's amazing, bro. Is Microsoft valid for oh, hold on, let me not skip this. Palantir too. I'm concerned about this two weekly. I'm concerned about the weekly channels. Okay, I didn't look at that. Hold on. I mean, more or less the floor, but I don't know, man. It sure seems like something that I mean, again, your closing or your weekly's getting really close. You know, this is where you're either going to retest and come right the fuck back down. But it's not going to be before you lose this floor. And, you know, again, that's something you should be. Yeah, actually, that's today's low. Today's low is where this fails. So honestly, man, if I was long on PLTR, I'd have some sort of protection. All right, BRT. Okay, so you're building more than likely a pretty big range here on VRT. Range there and there. So I mean, this is going to be a candle close below 239.94. I mean, you literally have the ability to go both ways. Above 258.66. I mean, I would take more of a, I guess, more bearish approach on this one slightly. Well, fuck. Yeah, I guess you could say a little bit more bearish, but it still has to break that floor. I went short on IWM for 252 tomorrow. Am I screwed? Well, if you bought too many, hell yeah, you're probably screwed. But if you didn't buy too many, then you might be all right. I mean, again, we're gonna need this price. Something's gonna have to change here in the next couple of minutes. And I just took a hedge. No shit, bro. I just took a fucking hedge when I sold, dude. I just sold calls to to somebody, dude, somebody, and we'll see if we punch down through this box because that'll be the ticket downside. Otherwise, right off a cost basis too. So watch that first green candle to your left. Is this what quants use in hedge funds? Is no. That's a quantitative trader. It's not doing what I'm doing. I just bought some of these calls. Jesus, dude. Shit, it might work out for you, dude. Let's see. Over the top. I'll probably swing something on IWM. Yeah, I made a good money today. Definitely probably put something on the table. All right, so let's see. VRT. I mean, yeah, that's really all I have to say. This candle doesn't tell me anything, guys. Your buddy is live? I don't know who that is. Who's my buddy? All right. Ooh. Oh, Rod. Go troll him. Go ruin his day. All right, so this is actually a cool opportunity where you did get a punch down, but you're bouncing perfectly off the box up above you. Got empty space all the way up to the floor and possibly up to 3150. So this is something I think that if you are looking down on it, you have, the ability to actually take it. But it's this bounce today that is where you make your next low. So, maybe call it a moment of indecision, but retest the bottom here and you'd be good. So QQQ holds 607. I'm going long. It will close in the weekly box. If this for me, it's 609, 610. That's where I want to see price. But then I also have a box here or a range that I can utilize. So yeah, I know, Rod. Actually, you know what's funny is I got a letter from the court today. Peyton brought it to me, and I for a second there I was like, no way. Did Rod try and sue me? I was kind of excited, but then it was just my marriage certificate. So just a marriage certificate. All right, what else do we have here? Do you post those gains on ALK? I do. It's okay if you didn't. I was just asking. So, bro, was single? Nah, definitely not single. Never that. I haven't been single in a long time. All right, what else do we got? Anything else? Rivian? Yeah, I did snap. I did snap. Yeah, it wasn't great. Rivian is about to move. It kind of looks like it might actually give a move to the upside tomorrow. I'd be aiming here at 1614. That's actually not a bad little. Yeah, fuck, I might actually take that. It's cheap enough. Yeah, it's not a huge trade, but I mean, at least a 16. Again, the contracts have to fit the script, but three off the bottom, a wick down, good candle close. How much are these yield Rivian contracts? Damn, dirt fucking cheap. Yeah, yeah, I'll buy some of those. I could buy 10 for $50. Not that I'm gonna just buy 10, but just say throwing that out there. Too cheap. Nah, there's no such thing, Nick. I bought contracts for $2 and sold them at 80. No. Plus, I want them to be cheap. So listen, the only thing that's stopping this from going to $16 is 1566. So we would need obviously a pretty strong candle moving up and out. 1566 would be the first overhead resistance. And if you want to add a week to it, you can, right? But $16 would be that area of escape. Yeah, I'll throw a little chat. Low risk, high reward. I mean, that right there, the wick down here, and then pull yourself back up. You know, that's pretty hardcore. Yeah, 15:45 tomorrow. What's up, Blue? So this is where I'm going to tell you right here, right? You got a floor that you need to recover, and you have a box that you're sitting up above. So this is the hardest place to be in a trade. If you can fall back down, right, and punch through this box, sure, maybe new low. But making a prediction purely based off of that doesn't. I would say, this could, yeah. When you're stuck in between two boxes, I don't know any better than you do. I react to whatever gets grabbed or pushed out of the way, above or below. So, I mean, with the gap down, yeah, but you're bouncing off of that. So, okay, I was about to say, dude, Raven Dictive. what is, uh, what is your goal here? That is not so Raven. I can tell you that much. That's not so Raven. No, I've never heard of it before. Yes, I have. I was just joking. Yes, of course, dude. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, she's super hot now. Uh, I mean, first off, it's not a bad setup. You got two off the bottom here, right? You got two off the top, so over 46, 47 bucks. You'd be aiming for 48.82. Ultimately, the goal here would be to punch through this and get up yonder into the $57 area. So don't fall. Don't fall. Wall Street Plumber was looking long. I mean, yeah, sure, you could, but again, something needs to happen for APP. Dude, you see. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I'm still holding fucking IWM calls. I need to get out of those. I gotta get exercised. Here, let me sell some dork here last minute. Here, sell. I can always keep one on deck, if price isn't lost anything. Keep a little runner. I don't know what you just said, but it sounds like I can't repeat it. All right. It, this doesn't look bad. APP doesn't look bad. I mean, it's got a shit ton of empty space up above it. Good close. So, I mean, I would be aiming. Uh huh. Uh, uh, I mean, this is also cost basis or the 50% mark. So if I see consolidation, right, in this case, it would be 541.80, right? Because that's cost basis. But yeah, I mean, you would aim typically the last runner is going to go to that, to that candle up there. So to that first green candle. Damn. Dude, no way. Yo, all right, hold on. I'm about to sell. Yo, how many contracts did you guys buy? You guys pumped Rivian, didn't you? You guys just fucking pumped Rivian. So now I can't. Yeah, they no, they definitely just they had to have punched. We didn't go that hard. You guys just pumped Rivian contracts up. Why'd you do that? I see that. Oh, I saw two. Oh no, that was 100. Yeah. That was weird. You guys are. Yes, that's me on the fucking t-shirt. Nah, that's an exclusive. That's an exclusive t-shirt. I don't sell that one. That was a rare print, dude. Post it in live trading chat. Yeah, what a reversal on the Qs is right. Anybody holding any of that on the IWM or Qs? Yeah, they got rid of Gnome, dude. The market's pumping. Hold on 1 second. My friend has requested that I full port his account into IWM calls. Dude, you're gonna get cooked, bro. Yeah, where's your fucking target, dude? Something, dude, that looks like news is gonna hit in after hours. Oh my god, Q's. God, what a fucking play right there, dude. Y'all, we smoked that IWM trade right there. Damn, I smoked IWM period today. Nope. Yeah, that looks bullish. Nah, no, that's not bullish, dude. I mean, again, if is it bouncing off? You know, it did. It came down pretty fucking close, but again, when you bounce, I mean, when you bounce, you want to recover something. So best case scenario, IWM gaps up, pulls back, bounces off the floor, and then goes and does whatever the hell it's trying to fucking do. So you look like this other streamer. His name is Old Time 101, and he games. Hmm. I'll take a look at that. The fuck is happening? You guys should scroll with me. All right, close here. A few seconds. You know, again, I'm just gonna throw this out here. While we could see some retests back up into these spaces, you know, there's a lot of volume up here, and the empty space that we've left behind. You know, the beautiful thing is that tomorrow we can really, you know, slide into a good position. So yeah, aren't they, dude? Yeah, they pumped hard. Yeah, that is a shirt that we printed out years ago, a couple years ago. And yes, that is my face. I was on Waters, like the actual that's a road in Savannah. My office was on Waters, and that's when we made that. That's when I actually that's this they printed those shirts after GameStop. It's funny. All right, ding 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 ding. So this is the level that needs to be recovered in order for IWM to go up. So you have 15 minutes here, and we get to see kind of obviously where we can go from here. Second. Well, not a bad day today. Your mega fall on IWM prolongs itself yet again. Dude, tell me about it. Listen, it's the end of the day. Sellers are going to exit their positions at 24-hour levels. So am I surprised or deterred? No. There's no. I look at the 24-hour candle close and I'm like, nah, you kind of, that doesn't look good. Yeah. 251.74 would be the next target here on the 24-hour time frame below those wicks and below 253.40. So we'll see. Am I sweating? No, I'm not. I'm not a sweaty guy. You said UPS? Good God. Wow, mega dump, dude. Dude, my opinion on UPS is it's got to be one of the worst things ever. It's the worst. Look at this floor rejection. So if anything, I would look at the floor that you had to recover to get here, which you just closed, or well, you're not closing us the monthly, but that basically below today's low, you would have your 101.50. And again, it's not like it's a box. When I'm looking at a chart that has nothing that I'm familiar with, right? I'm just as lost as everybody else. It's when I zoom down and I find boxes, but then when I zoom down here on UPS, it's fucking one box after another. And the shitty thing about UPS is that it'll do this big wick and then kill you. And it does that big move and then wick and kill you. And so it just be careful. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. The way that UPS has been trading over the last couple of years, and even just looking at its setup, yeah, catch me out somewhere else. I don't. Yeah, you're going full Wall Street, my boy. Stocks that should be dying for 300, please. Well, that honestly could be a short play, right? Whenever you break out of a box, third time, one, two, three, and then you get pulled back underneath, if you lose your cost basis now at this point, you could look at it in reverse, potential continuation there, right? So, 47.42 would be tomorrow's retest level, but if you lose that 45 level, it might be worth taking a shot down. Spy, Duma, Duma. Believe it means it's a bad word. It's like fuck you or motherfucker. Duma, Duma. Dumami. what's what's Potterbox? The Potterbox is my strategy that I built, created. Low risk, high reward, high percentage returns. Yuck. So my opinion on Spy right now is you're slap ass in range. And with your, I mean, this is literally the range that you're going to be covering or going to have to break. That's it. Period. End of story. Right. That's where we're going to need to go. You have a target above right here at 689.75. So if we can break today's high, but also we have the 677. You know, SPY is one of those ones. Well, yeah, man, this is wild. This is actually wild that where we're trapped in here. I wonder if Trump calls market makers. He's like, if you let this fucking market fall, if you let it fall, I'm gonna grab you by the financial asset. He's got to, dude. What is Kristi Noem gonna talk about? Never mind, I fired her. She can't smile at me with her fake plastic face. I'm sorry. All right, we're done. Tuna Magama? What does that mean? Yeah, man. Read and react on Spy. Am I in A and F puts? Yeah, I am. You got a little low risk position here, but this is something that we need to be looking at going into next week. Obvious. I got him for tomorrow too, but it's definitely something that we could look at with next week's expiration. So hold on, we'll get your request. Hold on, we're going Oracle. Did we look at that one? No, we didn't. Duma. So I think today's high 157.87 break, and you're looking at a target of 166.35. Now this whole range should be relatively easy to move through. So I'd be looking at a 172.65 target if you can break through. I only swing credit spreads. That's yeah, I don't do anything like that. Do what? Do mine? I'm not gonna lie. Vietnamese accents are probably some of my favorite. There's a golf guy in South Carolina who has a Vietnamese accent. He's like, "This motherfucker." I fucking love it. All right, let's see here. Zim. Dude, it's always their dads, bro. That's that's fucking funny. Marlboro Reds too. IWM is closing below the floor. So I mean, yeah, it does. Ooh, starting to fall a little bit here. Yes, but it. Yeah, what's up? Sure. Real quick. Listen, guys, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I can do analysis on something like this, right? I can help you identify. Like I do see a box, right? Maybe with the punchback, then you would have to go into lower time frame. You got empty space up to $30. So I could say $30, right? Clear break over cost basis over the top at 29.33. And then obviously with a floor here pretty clear at 27.77, that's where you could go and tag that open. Usually a wide fluctuation of price. So watch, we'll see if my little trick here works. Maybe, but we don't have enough context to see. How do you calculate cost basis off the dome like that? It's the 50% mark of a box, my guy. So it's really, I mean, it does it for me, you know. And the fact that I mean, listen, I drop a box and it makes sense, right? That's how, I mean, again, those are the things that I saw to find it. And this is, years and years ago. So, yeah. I mean, obviously that gets easier too, but all right. My TikTok audio is better than YouTube's. What's wrong with YouTube's? Is it just not clear? It's interesting. It's quieter on YouTube? Really? Okay. That's interesting. I had to put the microphone in my mouth. All right. What do we got next here? What's Yeah, yeah, I got that. Elf 24 hour. Right here, brother. Easy peasy, right? Same box that you had to, you don't really have structure over here. You've already bounced off of that red candle. So that previous top is just literally what separates you from that empty space back up. That's it. When is your next class, brother? I'm very interested in learning your strat. I know you just had one. I'm doing one right now, Will. I'm halfway through it. The class, you could still join the class. But yeah, I'll be doing class probably until Friday or Saturday. Somebody told me yesterday that they had taken a course and it was 1 day. It was like a 4 or 5 hour class, and I was like, "That's it? That's all? Like the whole thing?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oof, oof, my God, Doctor Deather, do mind." That could be a good place to bounce. However, you don't seem to be responding at all. So I would say 2761. Damn, that one dropped right underneath the wick too, and just flushed. Make sure your push to talk mic is connected to the right thing. Dude, John be giving me the hardest charts on the in on the planet. I mean, I mean, I'm just gonna. This is a fucking horrendous setup, right? Just in terms of what's above and what's below, but and price action. But yes, this is your third time at the floor, right? You've got a bunch of candles here. They have not been able to successfully climb above anything, and this is where my strategy, again, in some ways, kind of falls apart because there's really only ranges. There's not a lot of boxes here. 5377 would be step one, and then that 55. So I mean, even if it does bounce, I guess the question is, where is it going to go? But yeah, I mean, it is consolidating at the floor for the third time. So above that 5372, I'd I'd be looking up towards like 5780 and ultimately higher than that wick at 6160. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that is an overhead resistance, or was rather overhead resistance. So Impus just had, yeah. As somebody said, they were long on this one. This is just not my kind of price action, guys. It doesn't mean that you can't go after it. I stick to what I know. I stick to what is clear to me. Right, Amazon, that's clear to me. That was, I think it was clear to damn near everybody. But like, that's something that I can see, and I see that it doesn't have resistance, and I know that a big candle popping outside of its consolidation will give me a big move. That's what I look for every fucking time, right? And if it's up or down, and then the only other places that I, kind of test my boundaries is in these type of setups, right? Where we've got, the ETFs without any proper box, but there is empty space and there is this overhead heaviness that we're hanging on to. So bear flag, bear flag has one of the lowest statistical returns against the S&P. One of the worst. One of the absolute, that and bull flags. Yext? What the fuck is Yext? That's almost too much empty space. What the hell is this, dude? What is Yext? Y'all are for real testing my skills here. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's it's pretty cool, you know. Okay, so I mean the simple thing here on the weekly is get a 584 candle above that top. I mean that's a period end of story. However, it does look like you're gonna need to build more. So I would watch maybe for a pullback down to that 970 or 497, excuse me. Toothless, what's up, dog? Cat. Lily? This one actually closed decently. It did close on the floor. But yeah, this one actually tomorrow, if you could gap up, that would honestly be super sick. But if you could wick up, retest, and then die, you definitely have more continuation to the downside. So, is this crypto futures? No. My strategy works on everything. Go ahead. What's up? On what? On what? No, I didn't see that. Oh yeah, Kalashi. Yeah, what was the prediction? Damn, that's fucking crazy, actually. ASMR Brainiac. What is my win percentage? You're being marketed to, by the way. Um, I haven't checked my win percentage in about a month and a half because that's not my concern. I could lose 60, 50% of my trades and still make money. It's all about risk to reward. Stop falling for that shit on the fucking internet. Win ratings, win statistics. I've got a 100% win rate. You're probably not making that much money because you're popping in and you're popping out. And also, I'm not a scalper or a predominantly day trader. So I stopped worrying about that shit. Again, when I figured out that it was really risk to reward that is most important, especially when you know what your risk is. So I do swing trade, yes. Like Rod, who says he has a 98% win rate. Yes, the win rate shit is bullshit. I've seen people post that, and it's like they're risking. Okay, so a lot of those people who say that, and maybe there are some people who have really high win rates, and that's important to them. But as far as I'm concerned, right, the win rate, that all that bullshit, um, is again marketing. But most of the time, they're putting in a lot, making a little, and so one bad trade can set you back 10 trades, and that's some bullshit I don't like. So that guy annoys me. 700 today at the right time could have made you on what app loving puts for tomorrow. Oh, I don't know about that, dude. Oh, wait. I would say you need to touch 520 first, Chief, but you also have empty space up above that. So, yeah. All right, it's 420, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta go hang out with the kids, guys. I obviously have been very busy this weekend or week, so I want to go fit in as much time with them as I can. But um, class is tonight. If you're not in, you're still more than welcome to join. We're getting into the good stuff. If you are in class tonight, be ready because I'm going to be testing your asses because we're going to do what we did yesterday, and this is my only warning. So what I really want to focus on is seeing you guys build these boxes, and I might even have you chart some stuff in real time. So make sure you have your charting softwares up. Yep. See you guys in the morning. Peace out. All right. Discord. See you guys in class. All right. Peace out.